Have you ever met someone who spent their entire life trying to escape their bad habits, but always ends up right back where they started? Someone who tries diet after diet, routine after routine, promises themselves, "This time I'm serious," only to break that promise in a matter of days. Maybe you know someone like that. Maybe that someone is you. If you've ever tried to lose weight, quit drinking, stop procrastinating, break addictions, you know this cycle all too well. It starts with enthusiasm. You wake up one morning and say, "Enough. Today I change my life." You clean your kitchen, throw out the junk food, download workout plans, buy running shoes, watch motivational videos, feel unstoppable. But then real life hits you again. The stress, the responsibilities, the long hours, the kids, the deadlines, the exhaustion. Your brain whispers, "Just this once." And before you know it, you've fallen straight back into the same habits you swore you'd never return to. Then guilt comes in, then shame, then that familiar painful voice. "See? You always fail. But what if I told you there is a method? A system so simple it feels ridiculous. That can help you escape any bad habit. Obesity, alcohol addiction, procrastination, overeating, laziness, self-sabotage, even the deep-rooted habits you've carried for decades. What if I told you this system doesn't use discipline, or motivation, or willpower? It uses something far more powerful, and this system is built from 5 Japanese philosophies that, when combined, create a transformation so small, so gentle, so subtle, that your brain doesn't fight it. Most productivity gurus will hate this method because it destroys their entire business model. It goes against everything they sell you. It's the opposite of wake up at 5 a.m., the opposite of grind harder, the opposite of just do it. This method is the reason some people transform their lives permanently. While others stay trapped forever today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But before we dive in, I want to tell you a story. A true story of a man who was drowning, physically, mentally, emotionally, and how one tiny habit, one microscopic change saved his life. A story of how a hopeless man transformed without discipline, motivation, or willpower. A story of a man named Christopher. Christopher was 40 years old and weighed 142 kilograms. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't weak, he wasn't stupid, he was tired. He was the kind of man society ignores. The hard-working, exhausted, lower-middle-class father who carries the world on his shoulders. For 15 years, he worked as a warehouse stock manager. Wake up at 5 a.m., home at 7 p.m. 2 kids, a wife, bills stacked like building blocks, and a body that he treated like a forgotten suitcase, dragged everywhere, barely opened, always ignored. His diet? Whatever could fit into the cracks of his day. Breakfast in the car, lunch over emails, dinner half asleep on the couch. His weekends? Pizza, beer, TV, sleep, repeat. His family loved him, but they were losing him. His body had started giving warning signs, the kind of signs people ignore until it's too late. Climbing stairs left him breathless. Tying his shoes felt like a construction project. Playing with his kids? Impossible. But the real pain wasn't physical. It was emotional. His 7-year-old daughter had stopped asking him to play. Not because she didn't want to, but because she had learned he would say no. And to Christopher, that silent understanding hurt more than any number on a scale. Still, he did nothing. Because he had tried before. 3 times he joined a gym. 3 times he quit. He tried a strict low-carb diet, lasted 3 weeks. He tried running before work, lasted 5 days. Eventually, he reached the most dangerous point any human can reach. Acceptance of defeat. The place where people say, "Oh, this is who I am. I've always been fat. My metabolism is slow. I don't have time. It runs in my family. But the truth was far simpler. He was hopeless. Until one Saturday morning, the day that would change everything. Christopher was sitting on a plastic chair in the backyard while his 9-year-old son played football alone. Not with him, near him. The boy accidentally kicked the ball into the neighbor's flower bed. "Dad, can you get it?" A simple request. Christopher stood up, walked to the ball, bent down, and couldn't get up, not because of pain, not because of injury. His legs simply could not lift his own body weight. He stayed there, on all fours, sweating, gasping, humiliated, until the neighbor came outside to help him stand. His son watched in silence. That night, Christopher sat on the edge of his bed and cried. Not because of the weight, not because of the embarrassment, but because he realized he had just created a memory in his son's mind. My father couldn't stand up. When his wife came into the room, she didn't give a speech. She didn't attack him. She didn't blame him. She hugged him and whispered, "You need help, Chris." The next morning, he called a friend, the only person he knew who had lost weight and kept it off. His friend Marcus didn't give him workout routines. He didn't give him diets. He didn't recommend supplements. He simply said, "I'll give you the number of the doctor who saved my life, but he's different." The following Tuesday, Christopher found himself in a clinic that didn't look like a clinic. No posters, no charts, no equipment, just a wooden table, 2 chairs, and a window overlooking a silent garden. Dr. Tishi Yamamoto walked in. A thin, calm, elderly man who looked more like a Zen monk than a doctor. Christopher explained everything. The weight, the exhaustion, the kids, the shame, the flower bed incident. He expected a strict diet plan. He expected lectures. He expected tough love. Instead, the doctor asked, "How many times have you tried to lose weight?" Christopher answered, "How long did each attempt last?" Christopher answered. Dr. Yamamoto nodded and said, "You failed because you tried to fix 40 years of habits in 4 weeks of effort." Then he leaned in. "Christopher, I'm going to ask you to make a change today. A change so small it will feel like an insult. Do you accept?" Christopher was desperate. "Yes." The doctor smiled gently. "Starting tomorrow, drink 1 glass of water every morning." Christopher waited for the rest. There was no rest. "That's it? That is all? No diet? No. No exercise? No. Just water?" "Yes, for 2 weeks." "But doctor, I need to lose 50 kilos. A glass of water won't do that." "You're right," the doctor said. "But the glass of water will do something far more powerful." He leaned back and folded his hands. "It will teach you the only lesson that matters. You are capable of keeping a promise to yourself. Once your brain learns that, everything becomes possible." That night, Christopher placed a glass of water beside his bed. The next morning, he drank it. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, same thing. By day 7, something unexpected happened. He woke up before the alarm. Because he didn't want to forget his glass of water, his brain had started forming a new identity. "I am someone who keeps small promises." 2 weeks later, he returned to the doctor. The doctor asked, "Did you drink the water?" "Yes." "How do you feel?" "Silly, but proud I actually did something consistently for 14 days. The doctor smiled. "You've just learned Kaizen, the philosophy of microscopic continuous improvement." Then he added, "Now we add one more thing. Eat half the food you usually put on your plate. If you're still hungry after 20 minutes, eat more." Christopher hesitated, but he had succeeded once, so he trusted him. And that decision changed everything. The first week of half-sized portions was torture. His brain screamed for more food, not real hunger, just habit. But the rule was clear. Wait 20 minutes. If the hunger is still there, you may eat. In 3 weeks, he only returned for more food twice. This was Hara Hachi Bu, the Okinawan principle of eating until 80% full. But Christopher didn't know the name yet. He only knew something strange was happening. He wasn't starving. He was retraining his brain. At his next appointment, he had lost 3 kilos. "It's not the number," the doctor said. "It's the direction." Then came the next step. "You will walk to your mailbox every morning." Christopher blinked. "That's like 20 meters. "Yes, that's not exercise." "I didn't say exercise, I said movement." So he walked. On the 3rd day, his daughter followed him. "Dad, can I come?" She held his hand all the way. She talked about school, her teacher, her best friend. Things she didn't usually tell him, because he was always too tired. The next week she asked, "Can we walk to the corner?" So they did. By month 2, he lost 8 kilos. But the weight wasn't the transformation. The transformation was the spark returning to his eyes. At the next appointment, the doctor asked, "Why are you doing this?" Christopher started to answer, "To lose weight." "No," Dr. Yamamoto said softly. "What is your real reason?" Christopher paused. For the first time, he genuinely thought about it. "I want to be there for my kids. I want to walk my daughter down the aisle someday. I want to be alive long enough to see my future." The doctor smiled. "That is your Ikigai, your reason for living. Motivation fades, purpose doesn't." 3 months passed, 14 kilos lost, clothes becoming loose, people noticing. Then came Thanksgiving. The pressure, the judgment, the comments. "Just today. You're fine. Enjoy a little. You're ruining the vibe." Social pressure is the enemy of transformation. Christopher gave in. He ate more than he had eaten in months. He went to bed bloated, ashamed, angry with himself. The next morning, he didn't want to drink water. He didn't want to walk. The familiar voice returned. "You failed. See, you always fail. Quit before you embarrass yourself again." But he did something new. He sent the doctor a message. "Doctor, I messed up. I think I ruined everything." The doctor replied instantly, "Come to my office today." Christopher arrived expecting a lecture. Instead, the doctor asked calmly, "Did you drink water this morning?" "Yes." "Did you walk?" "I didn't want to, but yes." The doctor leaned back. "So you didn't fail." Christopher frowned. "You stumbled. That is different. Failure is stopping. Stumbling is continuing despite the slip." Then he said, "Now you learn Wabi-Sabi, the beauty of imperfection. Nothing in life is perfect. No journey is perfect. No human is perfect. You ate too much one day, so what? Does one bad day erase 90 good ones?" Christopher felt tears forming. He had never been allowed to be imperfect. He had spent his whole life believing failure meant the end. The doctor continued, "When you stumble, you simply return. That is Gambaru, endurance. Not the strength of pushing hard, patom, but the strength of returning gently." This changed everything for him, because for the first time he didn't give up, he simply continued. Over the next 6 months, Christopher relapsed multiple times. At Christmas, at birthdays, on stressful weekends, he stumbled. But he always returned: water, half plate, walk, as simple as breathing. His brain learned, we don't quit anymore, we continue. By month 6, he lost 23 kilos, the scale changed. But something far more important changed. He sat on the floor to play with his son, and stood up with no effort. He walked with his wife after dinner, and didn't make excuses. He said yes when his daughter asked to play tag. He laughed, he sweated, he lived. His wife watched from the window one afternoon and whispered, "He's coming back." At 9 months, he had lost 35 kilos. At his next appointment, the doctor asked, "When was the last time you thought about giving up?" Christopher searched his mind. He couldn't remember. The doctor nodded. "That is identity. You are no longer a man trying to lose weight. You are a man who takes care of himself." Then he drew 5 circles on a sheet of paper. Ikigai, Kaizen, Hara Hachi Bu, Wabi-Sabi, Gambaru. These 5 philosophies are why your life changed, not because they teach you what to do, but because they teach you who to become. At 12 months, Christopher took blood tests. The doctor stared at the results. Cholesterol, normal blood pressure, normal. Blood sugar, healthy. "What treatment did you start?" the doctor asked. Christopher smiled. "Water." At home, he stood before the mirror shirtless. He wasn't perfect, loose skin, still some kilos to lose, but he saw something he hadn't seen in 20 years. A man he was proud of. By the 18th month, he had lost 52 kilos. He weighed 90. But more importantly, he was alive. His daughter's 9th birthday was in a park. The kids played tag, and this time, Christopher ran with them. Another parent approached him. "How did you do it?" Christopher thought of the philosophy, the steps, the journey, but he said, "One small step at a time." That night, lying beside his wife, she said, "You know what I love most? Not that you lost weight, but that you came back. You're present. We have you again." He held her hand, eyes stinging. "I almost quit so many times." She kissed his forehead. "But you didn't." Because he no longer relied on motivation. He relied on identity. Because he no longer fought a war. He took small steps because he no longer tried to change his life. He built a new one. In neuroscience labs, researchers discovered that habits don't break through force. They dissolve through identity, through microscopic improvements, through gentle shifts in behavior. In Okinawa, the land of the longest living people, long life has nothing to do with diets or intensity. They follow 5 principles: purpose, small steps, moderation, acceptance, persistence, just like Christopher. And this system doesn't stop at health. Year 2, Christopher applied Kaizen to his career. He got promoted to regional manager. Year 3, he applied it to his marriage. His wife said, "I feel like we're a team again." His daughter, now 12, told him, "Dad, do you remember the day you couldn't stand up?" He nodded, embarrassed. "I remember something else more. The day you started walking with me to the mailbox." And that sentence, that tiny sentence, made every step worth it. What if change isn't hard? What if change is gentle? What if you don't need to transform your entire life tomorrow? What if you only need a glass of water, half a plate, a walk to the mailbox, and the promise that no matter how many times you stumble, you return? Because the truth is simple. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and if you build the right systems, the ones inside the small, tiny, microscopic ones, your life cannot stay the same, not because you tried harder, but because you became someone new,